Hi guys, Lindsay here with Storybook Family Farm. The last several weeks have been nothing but laser focus, well, as focused as I can be, on getting a bunch of projects done. So today I actually just finished framing out the dishwasher area here. I just am filming here since I'm taking a break, and I need to look at this project longer to figure out what next steps to do from here and how I want to design it. I'm one of those people that when I have a project that I'm in the middle of or a complicated problem, it's easiest if I just stare at it and look at it for a while, and then eventually like inspiration will hit me. I'll figure it out. I'll have the vision of it, being done or something. Like that's just how my brain works. So yeah, don't mind my 2x4s. But so yeah, this weekend we did the attic access part of the nightmare of I don't even know how to describe it. Okay. So to get access to the attic, I ended up cutting out a big section of where our ceiling was messed up from when the roof leaked, only to find that all of the floor joists, roof rafters, I'm not sure when they're, the ceiling, but also the floor, if they're considered joists or rafters. So I'll just use them interchangeably, but that's specifically what I'm talking about. So they were only 16 inches on center, which when you measured the actual hole, the opening was only 13 inches wide. So, I couldn't fit this way up through it. I had to turn sideways to do that. And with the ladder in there, the only way I could actually fit my chest through was actually to like exhale every ounce of air out of me so my ribs would sink in as far as possible. And then I had to like basically kind of jump up to like shove everything down and through, and very painful, very painful. Not a good day to be a chick. But the next part, it was a good thing I was a chick, because once it came time to try to get my waist and my butt up there, I realized that with having a belt on, that just like my thin, just like a regular belt like this, actually it was this belt, I could not physically fit. I was too big, and I have never, ever considered myself to have a large butt, but I felt like I had a huge badonkadonk behind me, especially when Tracy had to take my belt off for me because I was stuck like this hanging from the attic access area with a mask on and all this stuff on. And she's like undoing my belt, and then I was trying to like wiggle my way up in. Like I was not kidding when I told you guys in a previous video that I felt like I would probably need a wetsuit and a bunch of Crisco to try to grease me to get me up in there. I had thought that I was going to be more so joking about that, but I was honestly really glad that I'd recently lost a couple of pounds, because I was like, oh man, like I actually legitimately panicked when I got to the point where my belt was stuck. I was like, I can't fit, I'm stuck. And I was like starting to hyperventilate, and it was not a good situation. Thankfully, Tracy was there to take the belt off, help me get up, and literally like knead my booty up through the hole. Like it was insane. And then to try to get down, like I had big honking feet. Like I thought I was going to have to take my boots off to be able to get down the ladder. Like it was insane. The mask that I wore on day one, it got pretty trashed. So that made things very difficult to breathe. And then whenever I was finishing up wiring everything up in the attic that needed done, so that way we had lights on the second floor. We didn't even do anything fancy. Like they're just lights. Our one friend, our Hey guy, actually, he's an electrician. He suggested with how terrible of access there was, instead of me trying to do it, the modern way of having light switches and all this stuff and running all this wire all over the place, which I'm really grateful that he suggested that I do this. He told me that we should just buy some of the more expensive lights that have the little pull cord on and off thing. So Tracy found some on Amazon. Even though we had already bought lights for up there, we bought new lights for up there to make things easier. So it was, I think it was either like 20 or 25 bucks a light, which they're just like globe lights, nothing fancy at all. Just so that way we could put them up there. Plus our ceilings are really short up there, so we needed lights that had very little clearance. But so we got that in. It was honestly is amazing to have a light in our bedroom instead of just having to walk over and turn on like a little lamp. So that was nice. That project took literally all weekend because I was almost done doing stuff in there. I had everything rough wired in, but nothing was connected up in the attic. And then it became time to go milk, and I couldn't finish it. So that was very difficult. Getting back up there the next day was really, really hard because I already knew how painful it was to get up. I already knew how difficult it was. My knees were already sore, and I had a lot less tequila on Sunday. Just throwing that out there. So yeah, that was it. Like it was brutal crawling around. Like my knees are still sore. My knees are still tired. The skin feels really bruised. I have bruises all over my body. That's not from the attic though. That's from a wood pile actually collapsing on me the day before. So yeah, things have been busy. Things have been rolling along. I've been making good headway on crossing things off of the to-do list, like framing out the dishwasher, and just slowly and steadily going tick 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 tick, getting all these things done. So part of the reason why there feels like there's such a rush on this is just because of the fact that we know that here soon it's going to be time for us, once it dries up outside. We've just left a really big rainy period, and starting tomorrow night we're supposed to have another big period of rain. So our pond has been overflowing, our spring is just gushing everywhere, there's water everywhere, our property is completely and utterly soaked. It's kind of like a swamp right now. So I can't do anything outside. I obviously can't do any garden stuff if it's raining. So it's just kind of nice to have this opportunity right now, this break in the homestead busy season, to be able to try to knock out every other project that's left. So I'm really hoping that I can get all of the big stuff done, and just try to keep focusing as best as I can on getting things done, because I know that here soon I'm not physically going to have time or energy to be able to devote myself to projects. So yeah, this week has been already started off with getting huge things done, getting huge, very scary, very difficult tasks done. And the rest of the list is pretty simple stuff, like trim painting, caulking this, doing little things that, like doing a transition strip, just different little things. It's a big list, but it's a lot of 5-minute jobs, 10-minute jobs, or even just, an hour or so jobs. So hopefully I can get a lot done this week. It'd be really cool if by the end of the week to see how much I've gotten done, but just know I'm probably not going to have time to film very much, because I'm trying to get things done. So anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.